right, hello everybody. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Yeah, great. Sorry, it's been a couple of years since I've been on stage, so bear with me. I'm gonna just pretend this is a giant Zoom call and I'm the one not wearing pants, just so that I'm a little bit more comfortable. So CTV, the next big thing with UA, is it? It's certainly a buzzword in the industry right now, and that's an exciting thing. A little bit about myself. I joined Vibe about 5 months ago because I was really inspired by the CEO and what was happening in CTV and how the brand was sort of introduced to me. And we're based in Paris, so I came over a couple of days ago, and we're solely focused on the US market. And yeah, we'll get right into it here. The truth is, we all love TV. Everybody's got stories, everybody's got their favorite show. You know, we all have memories of watching TV as a kid or binge watching a show with our loved one, our boo, maybe not making it through the full episode because the night got fun. But the truth is, TV connects us, it tells our collective story, and it is part of the zeitgeist. And you know, that is an important part of marketing, is connecting your brand into that zeitgeist, for sure. And the truth is, CTV has 3 times more attention than display, almost a $9 ROI, and it's the most scalable channel. But I don't need to be the one to tell you that. The data speaks for itself. The true question is, why isn't TV in your marketing mix today? How many of you today, this last week, looked at Instagram, TikTok, or any social media? Raise your hand. Everybody. I mean, I know I did, right? Okay. And how many people watched a streaming service in the last week? Watched something streaming in the last week? Okay. And how many people advertised on social media last week in this room? Right? Okay. And how many people advertised on TV last week? So why is that? All right. That's a really, really interesting question. It's pretty simple. TV isn't made for the modern marketer, right? Think about those massive budgets, right? The big creative budgets, this like crazy advanced spend to this mysterious, networks and all of this scary stuff where you just sort of blow money out into the wind and you hope that something happens from it. I mean, the Super Bowl ads this year were $6 million for a 60-second spot. That's crazy, right? What could you do with $6 million on a performance channel? Quite a lot. Right? Measurability sucks. You get like a weekly call from an account executive at Comcast. They give you some, bogus Nielsen numbers and you're like, cool. All right. I believe you. Trust you. Targeting, right? None, right? So, but things are changing, right? Today is very different. People are now using their TVs just like they use their phone, right? Connected to the internet. We've got apps, right? That's where connected TV and OTT come into play. I mean, if you think about GDPR, privacy laws, all the changes happening in performance marketing, the reality is that CTV has the power to go further and deeper than you can on the traditional performance channels today. And so that is what makes connected TV a powerful tool in your marketing mix. Because if you think about where you're putting your money today, you can now reach a whole lot more people in a performance way than you can in your traditional channels, like Instagram, for example. One of the #1 ad platforms, in the world today. There's only 126 million active users. Those are single-use users. It's an app on a phone, right? There are 195 million households in the United States with connected TV. Those are households. So each one of those represent 2, maybe 3 people, right? 90 million on TikTok, 89 million on Snapchat, 58 million on Twitter. Good luck, Musk, with that one. But, if you think about that number, it's kind of astronomical. And the power of being able to develop campaigns that can go further, be stronger, and use the data that we have through IP addresses, retargeting, and all of the power that we have in all of our normal performance channels today. But to that many people, it makes a lot of sense. We're currently running a little test with a pretty well-known gaming studio. We've only been running it for about 3 weeks. So we're just sort of testing the waters, seeing how it goes. They spent about 45 grand. Attribution windows, 24 hours. 50% of the installs are within 5 hours of view times. CPI targets 32% less than what they expected. In-app purchases have already reached 27K and a CPM of $13 and dropping rapidly. So those numbers are pretty good, right? So what's interesting about CTV as a performance channel, or TV as a performance channel, is the fact that you have attribution that is customizable and transparent. I mean, think about all those walled garden, attribution models that we look at today. Facebook, Google, it's creepy. It never really matches the data that you have, right? It's always a little different. Well, Vibe, we are currently working with pretty much all the MMPs so that your attribution is based on what's actually happening in real time. So it's transparent, and that's really important. Targeting is another key topic in CTV. We've solved that by being able to access all of the open web inventory on the market, and we're able to develop a consistent profile based on viewing habits, IP addresses, apps that are currently in those households, and develop precise targeting, income, zip codes, you name it. We can get pretty granular and customizable, particularly in the UA world. So Vibe is who we are. Google Ads of connected TV and OTT. One of the things that we wanted to do was make this an accessible platform. There's a couple of competitors in the market. We wanted to be easy to use, highly focused on just ROI, and actually build something that was self-serve. We're all test nerds, I assume, in this room, right? Data nerds. We like to test, scale, fail, test again, see what works. Well, what if you actually had access to being able to put a spot in front of 195 million people, see that it's working, tweak it, increase your budget, decrease your budget, look at your zip codes, look at where you're seeing the biggest churn in your downloads, and say, okay, what if we activated a campaign in this zip code block, and then we could suddenly say like, hey, stop watching this show, go back to our app, right? It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. It gets really interesting when you can get to that level of retargeting with our platform. And my CEO loves this slide, but the design nerd in me kind of makes me laugh every time I see it. CTV, the next big thing in UA, so big it can barely fit on the screen. The truth is, what we're building at Vibe is something that we believe is needed in the marketplace. We are working with quite a few partners right now. We're testing. We're trying to build a platform that works for app developers, because we don't want to go to market with something that's specific that we think. We're currently testing with quite a few. We want to run as many tests as possible so that we know that the product that we're putting into market is the best, most perfect product fit. So I'm here. I'll be here all day. I'll be here at the happy hour tonight. I would love to answer any and all questions that I can right now. It was a short little presentation, but I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. Anybody got any questions?
What are the different ways you can target people on Vibe? Demographics you show up for very specific channels?
Sure, yeah. So channel selection, obviously. You can get down to zip code, age, gender. We can do, based on, let's say you're an app and you have X amount of IP addresses, we can then develop interest-based sets and target based on that. We can do duplicate persona development. We can do everything as customizable as possible. We both have self-serve and managed product. Yeah.
there are like budgets that make sense and minimum budgets for tests?
That's a good question. It really depends on what your objectives are. We try to tell folks that are national apps that a 50K test is a good test to kind of start with, because it gives you the flexibility during the first few weeks to scale, reduce budget, and just sort of like look at the performance in general. 50K is a good starting point.
Do you also do ads for like websites or only apps?
No, absolutely. In fact, we do e-com. We just completed a test with a great e-com service, and that's a big focus for us as well. Yeah.
How does the attribution model work?
It's post-view attribution. So you can see spikes in activity post-view. So we have all the data from when every ad is published, and we can cross-reference that with your data so that we have the full attribution. And it's a 24-hour window, so it's pretty short. So we can get real granular real quick.